Hi, everybody. Before we get to another great interview, please do me a favor and subscribe. Would really help us out. Now let's get to that interview. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Too Opinionated. So excited today. I've got actress Veronika Slowikowska with me. So welcome, Veronika.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me.
I'm so excited to have you on the show. I'm a big fan of yours. I think you crack me up. I just think you're the funniest person. I've seen you show up on different shows, and I know not all of them are comedy shows, but I don't know. That's how I see you. You make me laugh.
Thank you. Thank you. I think it's something to do with my face, my demeanor. But thank you so much.
if we're going to go there, then I also make people laugh all the time.
That's right. Thanks.
So Veronika, I like to start this way. Tell me a little bit about what made you want to become an actor. How did you go about that?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I grew up in Barrie, Ontario, which is like kind of in the central Ontario, maybe even northern Ontario, where there was like 100,000 people where I grew up, and I was always kind of this shy kid, and I actually didn't speak English until I went to school. I only spoke Polish because my parents are both immigrants from Poland, and I was always kind of very shy. And but the first kind of video we have, I was about 2.5, 3, and I'm holding this wooden spoon and I'm singing to Spice Girls, and the only word I could say was lava, like, if you want to be my lover. So I think I don't know. I feel like I was just kind of born with an entertainer inside of me, and that was the first way I could really express myself. And so pretty much from the day I was born, they say, like, if you have any other passions, go with that, but I truly didn't. So
you had no choice.
I had no choice. No.
Well, so when you were in school, when you were going through high school, what were you involved in? Were you involved in theater, or were you doing sports? What were you doing?
Yeah, I was very much a geeky, like, theater kid. Yeah, I did. I always said it was like a bit cooler because I like could hang out with the popular kids, but like I was always kind of joking around. And I did improv with some friends, like, who we all went to different high schools, but we ended up creating this troupe, and we thought it was like the coolest thing ever. And we put on shows and like made money, so that was really cool. I was kind of always like, I went to Catholic school, so I was always like singing at mass and stuff, and all that jazz.
I also tricked myself into thinking I was more popular by, I was like, I knew I was nerdy. I knew, but in my head, I was like, no, I'm still popular. I'm hanging out with the popular kids. Later, I would be like, you know what? They weren't popular.
No. Or later you'd be like, oh, I was just the joke. Like, they needed me to like eat something weird and be crazy.
But see, now being geeky or nerdy and stuff, that's kind of cool now.
Oh my God. Yeah. Now that I'm, in my mid-20s, I just went home for Easter, and I went to a bar, and like so many of these, popular guys who wouldn't even look at me before came up to me now. And I was like, yeah, see, now I have a personality. Okay.
That's right. That's right.
But that ship has sailed.
Yeah, they had their chance.
Yeah, they did. But no, now, as an adult, you realize that having interests and hobbies is necessary.
I always like the high school couples where one of the couple was really popular and the other one was like the exact opposite, was not. But then after high school, when they stay together, the one that wasn't, kind of blossoms and becomes this person. And then everybody's like, oh my goodness, where'd this come from? And their significant others like, I knew. I got in early. I knew.
It's true. I'm not sure if I was I feel like I was like an early bloomer in that I knew what my interests were at a young
that's
age.
rare.
But it like weirded people out. Unless you were in my friend group. Yeah.
Well, so after you got out of school, were you still doing theater? You said you did some singing. So have you done musicals, that type of thing?
Yeah. So after that, I actually went to musical theater college and in Toronto. So yeah, I moved to Toronto right when I was 17 and kind of went to college for that. And yeah, I had a really good time. And it was a program that went through the summers. So I was there for 2 years. And I thought all I wanted to do was musical theater because when growing up in a small town, that's the only thing you can do is theater. Right. So I was like, because I like asked my parents, they're like, hey, can I get an agent? And they're like, what's that? And no, like unless you take yourself to these auditions, like they have jobs. So which I'm grateful for, that everything I've kind of, but nothing wrong with some nepotism, for sure. I would absolutely take it, but there's
for sure
none here, which is great. I went to musical theater school, graduated, but I was always kind of into comedy and film. Even while I was in school, I knew that was kind of more where my passions were. And but yeah, when you're a kid, you're watching movies and stuff, and you're like, oh, that's what I want to do. But you don't realize like there's someone who wrote the movie. There's someone who like did the lighting. There's someone who directed it. And I think as I got older, I was like, oh yeah, that's kind of more fulfilling to me. So
yeah, that's pretty good. Have you done some of the behind the camera stuff?
I so here in the city now, I mostly do like comedy. Like I do like stand up and sketch and improv, and I'm a writer and don't want to jinx anything, but like I'm developing something of my own, and
do we have a name for it?
We do, but we're I can't say right now, but hopefully we'll do this again when
you can't or you won't.
I truly cannot. I wish I could.
I know how that works. But is it a comedy?
Yeah. I think So kind of what I realized over the years is that yes, I love acting and all these things and will forever do it, but I definitely want to have my foot in the door elsewhere and kind of
love that.
Kind of run the show a little bit as well.
Well, so you do some writing. Have you directed, or do you want to direct?
Oh gosh, like yes, but also working and being on sets and seeing how much a director does. It's truly
hard work.
Oh my gosh, I can't. I feel like the only way I could really direct is if I wrote the thing, maybe, because I feel like that would be easier in a way, but also extremely hard. Yes, but I don't think I'm ready for that just yet, because
that's a big step.
So impressive. Yeah, directors are insane. It's incredible what they do.
You need one of those like shows that it's been on for so long that they start letting some of the actors direct some of the episodes, and they have people there that can kind of help them with that. That's what you need.
Right. Yeah. Yes. But then also like what inspires me to direct is when I see a movie that is kind of groundbreaking and someone has done something that they've never done before. And that's when I'm like, shit, I want to direct, because you know what I mean? I'm like, because that's so impressive. But
amazing.
But if it's just like more of a formula show, I feel like that's maybe a little bit easier, but I don't want to discredit anybody.
No, that's right. None of it's real easy. With that. And it's really, I like the really good directors, because you really get their vision. They'll take something, a piece of work that's one way and make it's not different, but it's better, because it's their, they've added their vision to it. And I don't know, it doesn't happen very often, but the really good ones, it is pretty awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So how do your parents, how did they settle in to your chosen profession?
Oh gosh. My dad was literally just saying this to me on the drive home because he's dropping me off in Toronto, and he was like, you know, that if there wasn't like that if I was good at something else, or if I wasn't, because I really do work hard. I think that's I think everyone works hard, but like
Yeah.
they really pushed me, and they weren't kind of the kind of parents to be like, that was incredible. Like they were more like, hey, you could have given that 100%, but like you gave it 90, you know? So they were hard on me, but only because they're also like huge fans of art and film. And so I think I really trust their opinion, but yeah, they were pretty hard on me, but I think that it ultimately helped my career.
Well, they probably know that, you can't half-ass your way into an acting career or a writing career, directing. If you're going into entertainment, you better give it your all, because it's so competitive.
Totally. And you kind of have to have it all, and also have this like business mindset. That's kind of weird, that a lot of my art friends are like incredible at art, but then don't have that part. But you have to kind of, you're your own business, which is weird to say, but yeah.
Yeah, you are. I mean, you're your own brand.
Yeah.
So the family, I always go and ask the kids, my mother, my wife, what have you seen this person on? So tell me what you've seen. And on the majority have watched Homeschooled, which really like. Yeah. So that was the consensus, was Homeschooled. She's the best. That's what I got. So pretty good. That's pretty good.
Yeah. Homeschooled was that's the newest series that just came out. I'm not sure if I don't know. I'm sure there's a way you can get it in the States, but I think we're selling it somewhere in.
Yeah. I'm not sure what they've watched, but they've gotten it somewhere. But I've got a techie kind of, like, I'm not technical, but the kids are, and they figure out how to watch stuff all the time. So they've been telling people, because we get that, well, where can we watch it? Well,
yeah, I know. I'm like, you gotta.
Why don't you come over and then we'll watch it?
Yeah. But we are working on it. I know that the production company is working on it to get it out in the States.
Well, so talk about it a little bit. What's it about? What kind of show is it? Obviously Homeschooled, you kind of get the picture of what's going on, but talk a little bit about the show.
Yeah, so it's about these two teenagers who are homeschooled, and they're kind of pretentious and extremely smart and gifted, and one of them decides to betray the other by going to traditional school, which is like the worst thing possible. And my character is kind of this like, she's the cinephile. She's this wannabe documentarian, and she documents the whole process of her friend falling into like normalcy, I guess, and kind of becoming this like lame person because she went to regular school. And then it's like a love letter to Wes Anderson, because all the shots are really beautiful, and the
Wes Anderson.
Yeah, and the outfits, and it's so smart and truly brilliant. Knox and Gwen, our directors and writers, are like the best ever, and I truly idolize them. And it's kind of about just friendship in general, and falling out with a friend, and how heartbreaking that can be. And that kind of breakup is different, but I think everyone's kind of related to that before.
My son says that it reminds him a little bit of Freaks and Geeks, just a little bit. I don't know
Freaks and Geeks, like Booksmart a little bit as well.
Oh yeah, I like Booksmart.
Yeah, but that for sure there's a lot of influences, and
we got to get that to the point where I can watch it in my own house.
I know. Sorry. Yeah.
Work on that. See if you can get that done before we're off this podcast.
Hey, yes, I'll send an email.
So now the exception was my oldest, my daughter. She's like me, not technical, but she says, and I don't know if this is true, but she says you appeared on an episode of Degrassi, like not the original, but like the spinoff one.
Oh,
is that true?
There's about 8 spinoffs.
Yeah, there's a bunch.
Yeah, I did Degrassi a number of years ago, and I'm friends with some of the kids, the adults now who are on it, and they're very much like a Toronto staple. And the film industry,
variations of that show have been on forever.
Yeah, and now they're doing another one on HBO.
That's what I heard. Isn't that nuts?
I feel like it's going to be more edgy. Like, I feel like it's going to be like Degrassi meets Euphoria.
Don't you think it's time you came back on as a teacher? It's time.
Oh my God. I mean, am I old enough to be a teacher? Yes. A young teacher.
Yeah, you could totally do it. Like newly out of college, you're just going in. So there's, you have to earn the respect.
Oh God. My sister's actually, and she's in concurrent education, so she's studying to be a teacher.
Oh.
And every time I'm like, I obviously have the utmost respect for teachers and what a fulfilling career, but my God, that is the last thing I would be good at. I am so just terrible with like children.
Now, if you want to explore a Degrassi Euphoria crossover, I will totally invest in that program.
Right? Because I think that Degrassi was always great at like teaching lessons, but they were never really edgy with like swearing and all that kind of stuff.
But now they're on HBO.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, this could be a little rough around the edges.
Yeah, it could be risque. You don't know.
Yeah, some cool shots, some shot on.
You might have a swear word in there once in a while. So I've seen you on a couple things, and obviously what we do in the shadows is the big one. But you did an episode of the Baroness von sketch.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're great.
Which is it's Adult Swim. Am I right about that? What's it on?
CBC, but then it got sold to Netflix for a while.
Oh yeah, that's where I saw it. Netflix. Yes.
And that was like Reggie Watts was on that. I know he was a big fan of them.
It's got a very cult following.
Yeah, because it's so cool. It's like, 4 middle-aged women doing comedy, which is like so sick.
Yeah, I think it's pretty great.
Hell yeah, great. And they're hilarious and so smart and oh my God, it was great. It was I was in, I think, the last episode ever, which is crazy.
Yeah, I think you were. I think it was right at the end.
Yeah, and I just barely got in there. And
I'd love it for him to bring it back, because we were late to the party, but then we watched, I think we saw every one of them and binged it, which makes sense because it was on Netflix for just a little while. That's,
totally.
Now Netflix started binging, I think.
Now there's a new show on CBC that's, I think the same producers as them, but it's another sketch show. It's my friends called Tall Boys, and it's 4.
I gotta write that down.
4 boys, and they're hilarious.
And I gotta check that
out. Yeah. So it's kind of the same vibe, and I think it was a choice that Baroness von sketch ended because they were just kind of ready to move on, because I think they did 6 seasons.
There was a bunch.
There's a bunch. And then, Tall Boys was really great. So
I'll check out Tall Boys. Yeah. That's pretty good.
They're all very tall. That's
well, obviously I couldn't be on that show. I'm out.
Me either, for 2 reasons.
So do you prefer, like when you're on a show, when you're acting in a show, do you prefer more of an improv type show, or do you prefer like somebody to say, this is what you need to say, so you got to memorize it?
Improv. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I like hate how much but I think I get in my head a lot when it's scripted, but also like most things are, and that's so great, and they should be. That's why it was such a challenge on Homeschooled, because I'd be able to improvise some things, but usually it was very to the script. But what we do in the shadows was, we got to improvise a little bit on that as well. And yeah, it just feels more organic because you're actually thinking of the lines, and it's kind of more of a game. But also I understand that what a nightmare for whoever's editing that, because every time it's different. So
when you get to improvise some of the lines, after when you go back and watch it later, do you tell people, be like, that was my line, I came up with that? Because I totally would do that.
Yeah, I feel like I've definitely done that a few times. But also it's more of like the magical, the magic in the moment that's created. I think that's really fun, that it's like, oh, we made that up or whatever. But also someone spent years on a script revising it, and that's also really great too.
No, for sure. So I've told this story a few times, but I couldn't act. There's no way I could be an actor. But if I was, I could not improvise. I would have to have somebody feed me lines, and I would have to I would like, part of the reason I couldn't act is because I would stress myself out so bad memorizing the lines. I would just, too much. It's too much stress. I couldn't do it. But
Oh, no, go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, that's actually like such a part of the actor's job, is just learning how to not get stressed out by lines, because that just stops you. It's a real mind.
You'd freeze up.
Yes. But you were saying, yes.
Well, yeah. So I was going to tell you my one improv story. Okay. So this is I had this terrific actress, Allison Dunbar, who used to be on a show called Quick Draw. And we were friends with the guy that created the Quick Draw, John Lear, which is why we got Allison on the show. But it was completely unscripted. So it was all improvised. It's on Hulu if you ever want to check one out. It's called Quick Draw. Couple seasons, hilarious. It's a kind of like a funny Western. So she came on show, and I was, complaining that I there's no way I could improvise. So she's like, well, we'll do one together. So I was like, okay. So I'm trying to improvise with her. We were in a library. So we were two workers in a library, and we're talking about the Dewey Decimal System or something. And she's, it's just a normal conversation, the most boring conversation that has ever been improvised, I think. So I'm trying, I'm giving it, my best. And I'm in the middle of some spiel about the Dewey Decimal System and how it was important, or some type of nonsense. And she like leans way into the camera, and she says, I love you. Just like that. And it was the funniest thing, but it completely threw me off. And I was like, that's why I couldn't act, because I was done. Done.
Oh my God.
I was like, there you go. I couldn't do it, because then I was just done.
Oh, wow.
Because, like if you're improvised, you're doing it kind of off the top of your head, but I couldn't do that. Like I had to try to listen to her and then come up with what I wanted to say before I had to say it. It was a mess.
Oh my gosh. I know. It's very much like I recommend improv classes and stuff like that, just for like everyday life too. It's such a fun skill to have. It's kind of like a sport. Yeah.
I don't think people in my life want me to start just throwing random improvs into, although it would be kind of hilarious.
Would be kind of fun. Yeah. Gets you thinking, gets you creative.
Thinking. So, okay. So we got to talk what we do in the shadows, because I loved Shanice. That's right, isn't it? Shanice?
Yeah. Shanice.
Yeah. She cracked me up because she's like she starts out, she's the roommate. She's like the straight roommate, to the other girls, kind of the goofball. She's kind of the, and then it ends up, her roommate ends up becoming a vampire. So it sends Shanice down this path to joining the mosquito guys, to where she becomes a vampire hunter, which is totally ridiculous, but I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, it was fun. It was that shows a dream come true. And I'll be forever grateful for having the opportunity to be on it, because that was like my idols, and every single person on that set is the coolest ever. So
did you watch Flight of the Conchords?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I wish they would come back.
Oh my God. Yeah. I remember like the first table read, which was in Toronto. I think I was like maybe the only person from Toronto at the table read. And I have never met anybody like famous before, ever. So I showed up, and I kind of just like, all of a sudden it was like all these Vanessa Bayer and like Jermaine and all these people, and I was just like, holy shit. And I'm like, I didn't know what the right way to act is, so I just pretended I didn't know anybody. And
then you gotta see, that's everybody says that's the way you're supposed to do it. I disagree. I think you gotta just geek out, just completely go nuts.
I did later when I felt it was deserved, where I was like, okay, these people like kind of know, like, you know, we've met each other a few times, and then now I can say just like a little bit of something and just be like, hey, by the way, big fan. You could ignore that. Thank you.
Did you sneak in any selfies?
No. Oh my God. No. All the selfies are in my mind. I have.
That's another reason why I couldn't act, because I'd totally be doing it.
No, like, I know. But to be fair, a lot of it is the selfies are on screen, which is really
true.
Cool.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, I remember like we would go out for karaoke with Craig Robinson, and he's a really big sweetheart, and we performed together at the Comedy Bar here in Toronto, and he was the one taking selfies with me, and I was like, oh, so we're friends. And
see, that'd be a career highlight for me.
Yeah,
I'd go nuts.
He's amazing. He's such a very kind person, and yeah, it would. But you know, everyone's just people. I think that's what it taught me, was like, oh, these are just geeks like me who just like kept going. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty great. His character on there. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, on every show also.
Every show. Yeah. And he comes across, even when he's not playing that type of character, he always comes across as just a nice guy.
Oh yeah. I'm watching Eastbound and Down right now, and he's just so funny. I love like Danny McBride right now. Like,
oh yeah, he's nuts.
Yeah.
All his shows just crack me up. Oh, but yeah, Eastbound is probably my favorite one of the ones.
Righteous Gemstones. That was the one that I was like, that I just finished, and then now I'm like just going through all of his. You're going through his
catalog.
Yep, I know.
Yeah, I haven't finished the new season of Righteous Gemstones. I'm about halfway through, so I gotta. Good. Yeah, it's been really fun, and the whole cast.
Yeah, the whole cast is so good. Oh my God. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what was it like how did you get the role? You know, did you was it just a straight audition? Did somebody refer you? You know, how'd that come about?
Straight audition here in Toronto. Auditioned once and forgot about it for like, because you know how it is. You just, if you don't hear, just forget about it. So yeah, I waited a month and a half, and then when I got the call, I was just sobbing. I couldn't believe it. I was like, because at the time, probably even now, like that was the only audition I ever, like, if I had to choose out of my 400 auditions that I've gone out for, that was the one I wanted. So I was just thrilled.
I mean, oh my gosh, it's such a good part. Don't you think Shanice deserves her own YouTube channel? Shouldn't you be doing that?
YouTube channel.
Yeah, she needs to be. This is my vision for her, right? So you need to just dress up as her and just have her going through life. You know, you can have her at the coffee shop. She's at the going through a drive-through, and just like bad stuff keeps happening to her.
Yeah. She's like, oh yeah, I just did the mosquito hunters meeting. And she's a vlogger. That could be funny. Yeah.
I think it'd be really, I think there's something there. You could mine that.
Yes, I agree. I think that
she needs a little spinoff YouTube channel.
She does. She really does. Well, I'll work on that.
Because she made it through. What was his name? Derek. Derek didn't make it, but she made it.
Derek didn't make it. I love Derek. Derek's my friend Chris. He's also from Toronto, so I was really
Yeah, he
pumped
was funny too.
that season 2 they brought someone from Toronto. So yeah, we're still friends, which is sweet.
Yeah, that's pretty
He's
great.
doing well. He's doing really well. I think he's like in a new Melissa McCarthy series coming out.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he lived
good
in Australia for like
what's his name? It's Chris, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chris.
I'm not going to, let's not call him by a name he played in a role.
No, Chris Zaniford. Yeah. No, not Derek, but Chris
It's
Zaniford,
not Derek. Yeah. Although if it was me, again, or, any role that I had on a show, even if it was just a small part, I'd be showing up at conventions and stuff. They wouldn't even have to invite me. I'd just be in costume showing.
Oh my gosh.
I know, I'm the worst.
No. Well, that's cool. I live here in Canada. I can't get over there.
Sure you can.
I mean, I can, but
I'll drive up. I'll bring you back. We'll make it a road trip.
Let's do it.
You need to come. You need to make a like a stand-up tour and come through.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's some things in the works, and yeah, I'm potentially moving. Who knows? But it's all a little bit
stuff.
Yeah. I love Toronto and I want to stay here, but yeah, I think
it may be time.
Sunshine would be really, really nice. So we'll see.
All right, you don't want to come to West Virginia then. I mean, drive through. It's beautiful. Drive through, but
I'll visit.
It's rainy and muggy and cloudy.
No, then it's the exact same here. Yeah.
You don't want that.
And snowy here. Plus,
we get snow
the other
too.
day. Yeah.
I know, it's so weird. We had flurries just a couple of days ago, and now it's like 80 degrees. I'm like, what is going on? That can't be good.
Global warming.
So you do some stand-up. Do you think that maybe you could start a whole thing where we do stand-up at like 5 or 6 o'clock in the evening instead of later at night for us people that like go to bed early?
I would love that. Dinner and a show. That sounds perfect. I know I'm getting tired of it where I'm like, oh God, like there's an open mic that I go out a lot because you just gotta in the comedy scene. It's like 11:30 at night and there's like mics. I'm like, oh my God. But you have to go. You have to.
I have this theory that it started because somebody was like, well, people start getting punchy and tipsy around midnight. So we're going to just do it real late and then that'll be easier. It'll be funnier that way. And then it stuck. And now we're stuck with just overnight comedy when most of us would be fine with like a 5 or 6 o'clock show.
Absolutely. Hey, I'm totally agreeing with you. And I think that it's time for a change.
Do you work on material, in front of an audience? Do you take some stuff and try it out and toss out what doesn't work and keep what does?
Yeah. I mean, I'm fairly new to stand-up, but like, from I think, you have to basically, try it out in front of an audience to know if it works.
Yeah.
So whether that's like open mics, and open mics are generally for stand-up comics. So you go and you try your jokes out in front of other comics and they try their jokes. But even though that's kind of the worst way to do it because someone in front of you is not listening to you because they're thinking about their jokes. So you never know. But yeah, I think the way you can't just write in your room, you can, but the way to do it is trial and error and just going up and doing it constantly.
So what's your set? Is it like 10 minutes? Is it longer than that?
Depends on the show. Depends on the show. I'm not a headlining moment at all, but I don't know. I like doing characters and stuff too. I think that's exciting. And I think stand-up's kind of changing as well now, which is great. I just watched Whitmer Taylor's special on HBO and it was really incredible. And and he has a lot of music in his set, and I think that's really exciting. Um,
Can you do that? Could you put some music into your set?
Yeah, I perform with my music crew here, and we do some funny stuff, and we have a whole musical written, which is just so silly and absurd, and I like doing stuff like that too. I think that excites me more than just traditional stand-up.
Yeah.
So yeah, I kind of want to do a little bit of everything. Also, I think clowning is really big in Los Angeles right now, and I just watched a Netflix special called Nate, and that was all clowning, and it was incredible. It was so good. So yeah, I just like when comedy kind of breaks out of its traditional forms and new things come about.
I found different. Kind of,
yeah,
that's pretty cool. What instrument do you play?
Oh, I can play like a little bit of guitar, but like not truly just a few chords to kind of keep me going. But I think that
That's
and
what you
then
need, though.
Yes, and then I sang I guess professionally, like because I went to school for it and did my music theory and stuff like that. So I still can sing a bit.
Yeah, that's a pretty good talent to have.
Yeah, it is. And like songwriting and stuff comes kind of naturally, and I really enjoy it.
Yeah, that's pretty good. So it hadn't all been comedy. You did an episode of Clarice. You did a episode Nurses, maybe?
Yeah, Nurses.
Yeah.
Clarice, and those were kind of more dramatic roles. And those are, I mean, like, I definitely love comedy, but I also went to the Canadian Film Center for acting, and
very nice.
Yeah, so serious acting, more dramatic roles don't scare me at all. I think that I think that I'm fine with those, but comedy is kind of just like my passion and where my heart lies right now. Yeah.
Like I said, when I see you on screen, that's what I think. I think you're so funny, and that's really cool. I'm so impressed though that you also sing, you're writing, which I'm anxious to see how that turns out. I'm assuming you'll let us know when it happens.
Oh yeah, let's hope so. Oh my gosh, fingers crossed. But yeah.
That's exciting. Are you artistic in any other way? Do you paint? Do you sculpt? Anything like that?
No.
I think there's been an attempt somewhere because you hesitated.
Oh yeah, there's definitely those moments where you're like, maybe I should, especially over quarantine. I think everyone kind of got bored and was like, hey, I should paint and I should do these things. And no, I am just terrible at that kind of stuff. I think I'm just too impatient. It's fun. It does take a lot of patience. Yeah, and it's fun to do when you're like listening to a podcast or like an audio book or something. But other than that, I think no, my talent doesn't lie there.
Don't you think the majority of us, everybody was either writing a book or a script, learning guitar, or painting? That was like the three things that were done during quarantine.
Or making banana bread.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about the banana bread. Yeah, there was a lot of that.
There's a lot of that. Yeah. What a time.
And learning to Zoom. We all learned to Zoom.
Oh my gosh. It's been a minute since. I know. Yeah.
I know. And I don't think it's completely done yet. Every time we think it's done, there's another one that comes out, and it's just, I think we're going to be fooling with it forever. Hopefully not to the extent, it'll become something that's just kind of like the flu. But
I think so. I mean, I'm getting my vaccines and whatever they tell me to do, I'll do.
I know. Me too. I'm just like, okay, if we got to do it every 6 months or a year, all right. If it keeps you from being sick, okay.
I don't have a medical degree. I have faith in humanity, and absolutely give me another one if that means I get to go and see my friends and family and get back to work. Yeah.
We went through when we first got in quarantine, a couple of the kids had babies. They just had little babies, and we couldn't go see them. Or, we went and we did the through the screen door type of visits, which were terrible, just heartbreaking. The kids were fine because they were too little to know, but we didn't get to connect with them when they were real tiny. We lost a couple months. I didn't like that.
Oh, I know. It was really terrible. Truly. Yeah. We didn't get to see my family in Poland for a few years.
Yeah. And it was one of those things that you're like, all right, I can do this for a week. No problem. And you're like, okay, 2 weeks, a month. Yeah. Okay. We'll hang out. That's fine. But then it just kept getting longer. And at some point we all just kind of went, I guess I'm getting fat. I'm just going to eat.
All of it. I think I gained weight, then lost it, then gained it again. And then,
we all went through that.
Yeah. I became a worse person. I became a better person.
Yes.
Yeah.
All the emotions.
All of it. And then now I'm like, okay, because there were so many false starts. So I think now
we seem to be, the momentum seems to be that we're moving forward regardless.
Yes. And I had COVID, when was that? 4 or 5 weeks ago. And thankfully, because of my 3 vaccines, I had it pretty lightly, and it was quite all right. And lots of my friends also had it. And
at this point, I think most of us have had it.
Yeah.
At least over the last 3 years, at some point, most of us have probably had it. Even if we didn't realize it, we probably had it.
And the strains seem to be getting weaker as well. So hopefully, but my gosh, I think a lot of us lost hope for a minute with trying to be, I'm a very positive person. Terrible. And I was, but we're out of it. It's 2022 now.
It's 2022. The interesting thing is going forward for the next 10 years, the projects that are going to be referencing COVID and stuff. I'm interested to see how that goes.
Yeah, I know. I can't tell if I'll hate it because no one wants to hear about it anymore. Or,
yeah. I know.
Or we're going to find out. It's just true. It's just like a thing that.
Yeah,
I saw a movie. What did I see? Oh, I saw World's Worst Person. Or and that was the Swedish film, and was nominated for an Oscar, and it was. I think it was my favorite movie this year. It's so
I got to see that then. Did you have to subtitle it? Yeah. I'm in for that.
It's so good. I love it, and at the very end, to show that time has passed. They had a bit of a COVID reference, but I didn't hate it. I was kind of like, okay, I'm on board for that. Yeah. And I think that was, I don't know if that was, I think I've seen something else with COVID reference, but that one was
they did it cool. In the morning show, the new season of the morning show, that you got to see it kind of as the season went on, they were dealing with, it was new on that season, but it was at near the end, you had people were starting to wear masks and stuff. So.
Right.
Yeah. Very interesting. Well, Veronika, thank you so much. This has been the best. I knew it would be. I've been looking forward to talking with you. So appreciate you spending a little time on a Friday afternoon with me.
Of course. Thank you so much for having me. This was very fun. And thanks.
Yeah, for sure. So a couple of things, though, before you go.
Yeah.
Anything else you're working on that we can kind of keep an eye out for?
Oh, I just wrapped another series called Ezra.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about that, but then I got worried. I was like, oh, I don't know if is that the one she's holding back, so I better not ask.
No, I mean, no. There's Ezra was great. It's coming out on Out TV, I think in October, and it's a gay vampire series, and it's so funny and campy and wonderful. It's
I'm in. Are you a vampire in it?
No, I never get to play a vampire. I know, but it's I do play a very different role that I'm used to. So it was a challenge, but it was very fun.
When's it coming?
October.
Oh, October. Yeah, you said that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm excited for that. That's Yeah, you put I think it's fun because we've had so many vampire things, but now we're actually getting like different versions. Before it was all basically the same story. Now we're getting fun, interesting twists and stuff. So that's good.
Vampires are multi-dimensional.
They're back.
And they each have their own stories.
Yeah. No, I'm excited for that one. Okay, we'll keep an eye out for that one. Okay, so last thing, where can we find you on social media?
You can follow me on Instagram or TikTok, I guess, at Veronika with a K, VRONIKA _is cool.
Yeah, I found you on Instagram, and I'll look for you on TikTok. I'm very jealous that you are, but you're younger. I kind of get that. You probably understand TikTok.
Yeah. It's been pretty good. I've been posting some silly videos on there, and that's been kind of keeping me busy.
Yeah, I'll find you on there.
So yeah,
I'll find you on there. I figured it out enough that I can watch. I just can't participate.
Right.
Yeah.
Not yet.
That's too much. Not yet. I'm not ready. Well, we'll post videos. Like I'll put up clips from the show. We do that. But I'm not ready to do the skits or the dances or anything like that. So I'm just watching.
Totally. And I truly don't know if you're missing out that much.
No. I don't know. There's some neat things platform. On there. There's a lot that I'm just like, nope, keep going. But there's some people that are very talented. And then there's some stuff that's hilarious. I'm like, this had to take a ton of time. And it probably doesn't, but it seems like it would take forever.
Depends. It's weird. It's like we're in this kind of time where everything seems like it's so organic and that doesn't take 2 seconds, but yet it's very curated and thought out. It's weird.
I know. It's very weird, but I'll find you on there too. But I have found you on Instagram.
Okay, great. Great.
Instagram's the nicest of the social media.
I think so. I don't have Twitter. I'm too scared of it.
Twitter's rough.
Yeah.
You gotta have thick skin if you're going on Twitter.
Yeah. Not for me.
Well, so when your writing projects come out, are you going to be posting it on Instagram?
Absolutely. Whenever I have news that I can share, it'll be on there. Trust me.
All right. But then you have to come back. You either have to come back, talk about the writing, or when Ezra comes out, you got to come back so we can talk about it.
For sure. 100%.
All right. Cool. All right. Very good. Hold on, Veronika. All right. So that was the talented Veronika Slowikowska. I really enjoyed that. I'm such a fan of hers. If you haven't seen some of her work on What We Do in the Shadows, it's just hilarious. And she writes, she sings, she does comedy, just a really, really talented young woman. So I hope you guys really enjoyed that. That was so much fun. And we got to bring her back. I'm so excited for Ezra. I was afraid to ask about Ezra because I was like, well, maybe that's the one she's working on and doesn't want to say the name. So I'm really happy that that's not it. She's working on another one. Then we can bring her back and talk about both. That'll be terrific. Thank you guys so much for tuning in again this week. Really appreciate that. If you haven't done so yet, we're still trying to grow our YouTube channel, MeisterCon Pod. If you could subscribe, it would really help us out. It helps us to keep bringing great guests on the show. People like to look at those subscription numbers. I wish we didn't have to fool with them, but we do, and we love to have you guys on there. So if you're inclined, we'd really appreciate the help. You can find all 400 or so episodes, audio and video, on our website, meistercon.com. If we're doing anything in studio, if we're going on location, if we're covering a convention, it'll all be on the website, meistercon.com. Thank you guys so much. Till next time. Bye, everybody.